my pretties.
Hello.
Hi.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Now, I imagine you might be wondering why you have been summoned here to the Zoom room and 30 minutes earlier than usual. What could we possibly have planned?
Oh, I hope we get to reminisce on all the people we voted off in a dramatic and endearing way.
I would like to welcome you, top three, Matthew, Brett, and Emily, to your final challenge.
I'm so bad at challenges.
Oh my god.
Your final challenge is going to be a fort building competition.
For forts. Oh my god.
That was amazing, Matthew Schwartz. Thank you for that. All right. It is a fort building competition. You will each be tasked with building a fort in your home out of whatever you want to use. You will have 30 minutes from the time I release you. And after 30 minutes, a panel of impartial judges will be judging each of you on your fort. They will be judging you in 3 categories. The first category is creativity, which I think speaks for itself. The second category is durability. Does it stay up on its own? The third category is presentation. You will all be asked after our 30 minutes to present your fort to the judges. Each of those categories, you have a possible 10 points available to you. So each judge will be awarding you up to a potential 30 points for your forts. The last requirement is that you must fit inside your fort. If you do not fit inside your fort, you will lose out on 10 points. Welcome back, my children. Before I go any further, I think it is vitally important that we say hello to our judges for the night.
Everyone!
Our judges are, starting off, we have Emil Thomas, an MFA2 director. Hi, Emil.
Good afternoon. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for having me.
Next up, we have Mallory and Tyler.
Hello.
Hi, Mallory. And then we have Stephanie LeBolt. Hi, Stephanie.
Hi, I'm such a big fan. I'm so starstruck to be here.
Thank you so much, judges, for being here. You are very important to our episode tonight. So you are going to be making a very big decision tonight. You will be deciding who wins tonight's challenge. And the winner of tonight's challenge will go on to compete to be the sole survivor on our finale on November 20th. That winner will also get the lone vote in the elimination that will happen immediately after our challenge tonight to determine who is eliminated.
Oh!
There is a lot on the line tonight. Now, a reminder for folks at home, we are about to have our presentations of our top 3 contestants and their forts. So the judges will be judging based on 3 criteria. The first is creativity, and then durability, and finally, presentation. Each category is worth 10 points for each judge, meaning that each judge has the capacity to award an individual contestant up to 30 points, which means each contestant can make up to 90 points from the judges' scores. The final 10 points for each contestant that are possible are only attainable if the contestant builds a fort that they can fit inside fully. First up tonight is Brett Rose.
Hey, besties.
All right, Brett, are you ready?
Mhm.
All right, your 2 minutes starts now.
Okay, so I'm just gonna turn to show the big reveal. So here you can see my fort. So I've designed this to be a maximum space for comfort, coziness, a place to, live through the quarantine and really just relax. So what I've done here is I've created almost a little bit of a reading nook. So I've created this monochromatic palette here using blankets and pillows from around my house. I love blue and white together, so it's a very like calming ocean feel, and I've created little reading nooks down here. So I have my reading materials. I have Vogue. I have my books, and I have my plants and all my little calming things around me. I put some essential oils, but you can't see those. So, we'll just pretend that you guys can smell through your computer. I have included some nods to our fun past 10 weeks together. So I've hung my my buff over here on the edge of my fort. So that's been keeping me there. I switched it out tonight for a tiara because I found it while I was making things. And then I have included a sign that says "No girls allowed," especially playwrights, because that's a fun like kid thing to do. And also we've talked a lot about female playwrights this season, which I have many of. I did well in the scavenger hunt the other day. I pulled out Bodies by Vivian Franzman. It's a great play. So anyways, taking us inside the reading nook now, I'll pull this forward so I can sit while I talk. I'm playing Kylie Minogue as well. If you haven't streamed her new album, Disco, stream it. It's amazing. But as you can see, I can fit right inside, all cozy, comfortable, and I can grab a book. I can grab a drink, which I've so conveniently laid out for myself here.
You have 10 seconds.
And I have 10 seconds. Little pride flag. So, if you don't vote for me, it might be a hate crime. Just for you now. And yeah, that's my spiel. So I hope you guys enjoy my fort.
All right, time. Thank you, Brett Rose, for that wonderful presentation and that fort, which definitely looks very cozy, especially on our first cold night after that nice warm stretch. Thank you, Brett. You may turn off your video. Next up, our next contestant presenting their fort is Emily Weems.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to my home. So, as we all know, we're in quarantine. And what do we all need? A glass of wine and a nice place to quarantine from other people. So what better than a fort in your living room? Let's come inside. Oh, sorry, survivors only. I guess I'll give you guys a little bit of a sneak peek. So let's come on in. So this place is nice and cozy. And as we all know, again, in quarantine, you have to create a pod, some good friends. So of course, I have built here a shrine to BTS because we all need some K-pop, some life, some loving yourself, And so I also have right here a game of Clue, because what else to do except for figure out how to get the next person out in Survivor. This is where I do my strategy, my planning. And right here, if my TV will turn on in time, sometimes I watch a little bit of Survivor in here because, time to plan, time to think. I watch movies, TV, my cat right over here on the BTS shrine. Guess what it's made of? My cat's plaything, and she loves this place. She absolutely adores it. And so I just think, and I mean, who doesn't love some spacious energy? Like, look up there. Look at Survivor. Epic. Tell me that is not epic. So this place, I mean, honestly, it's just the vibe for quarantine. We got pillows. We have comfort. I can sprawl out. I can take a nap in here. Look at how comfortable I am. Ignore my keyboard falling on my face. But yes, I honestly think that, there's no better fort in this competition. It's all for the girls. It's all for the girls.
10 seconds.
So thank you all very much for joining me on this lovely night in my home.
All right, Emily Weems, that is time. Thank you so much for bringing us into your fort. Looks like a primo space for some binge watching. So if we weren't in a pandemic, I would invite myself over. All right, Thank you, Emily Weems. That means our final contestant to present their fort is Matthew Schwartz.
Oh my God, these past 10 weeks have been tough, haven't they? That's why I did my absolute best to create this jungle retreat for only the most luxurious kinds of people, here to celebrate TTS Sports and TTS Survivor. I was just reading a little bit of The Little Foxes by Lilly and Hellman. You might remember her from one of our previous challenges. Also a female playwright. Let me take you inside. First of all, we have the gorgeous red carpet, only for a superstar. And I want you guys to admire the size and width of this amazing fort because it is huge. It is luxurious. And as a doorway, we have these beautiful vines handpicked from Ashland Avenue. From mine to yours, I take you inside. Welcome inside my life's work. As you can see, we do have working indoor electricity and every single thing you could need. Oh my God. What's that? I almost sat on another play by a female playwright. That's two. Anyway, there might be more to come. Now, in this cozy little fort, we have featured this amazing one-of-a-kind painting as the back wall, an absolute feature statement that will make you feel so luxurious. And we have all the other types of things that will make you feel like you are in the jungle right in the middle of the city. We have plants here, and we have flower pillows, and we have this gorgeous brown and green color palette to absolutely get you right in the mood for the jungle. But that's not gonna make me feel so crazy. That's not gonna make me feel like a wild animal. This wine, this box of wine right here in our snack shelf will absolutely make you go crazy in here, make you or your loved one, that's right, I'm talking to you, Tyler, go crazy. We also have an onion for when you're trying to cook and some chocolate chips for when you're feeling
10 seconds.
well. Last but not least, we have my beautiful sister in here to remind everyone why I play Survivor. I play Survivor for my family, and we have Athena.
All right, Matthew Schwartz, that is time.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much, Matthew Schwartz. Those vines, you're going to have to let me know where to find those vines on Ashland. I would love some. For my
cat's free on Ashland, period.
Excellent. Excellent, excellent, excellent. It is very clear that that was, for me, that was my favorite challenge of the season. It was really fun.
Agreed.
Thank you for indulging us in that and having some fun. That was great. All right, this brings us to the very, very, very important part of the night where we hear the scores from our judges on our top 3 contestants' forts. And these scores will determine who gets immunity tonight, and therefore who gets to vote out the contestant that will not make it to the finale on November 20th. We will be starting with Brett Rose. All right. For creativity, what are your scores? All right, we have 7, 9, and 9. The next category is durability. Judges, what are your scores? 6, 7, and 8. For Brett Rose, on the category of durability, we have 6, 7, and 8 for his scores. All right, and then the final category for Brett Rose is the presentation. Judges, what are your scores? We have an 8, a 9, and a 10. Very clearly Brett's strongest category, presentation, 8, 9, and 10.
Thank you.
Well done, Brett. Well done. We'll have to see how your competitors stack up against your score. All right, Brett. It looks like your score total is 83 points out of 100. You were able to fit in your fort, so you did receive 10 additional points.
Awesome.
Well done. All right, that brings us to Emily Weems. All right, Emily, here are your scores. Judges, for Emily Weems' fort, for the first category of creativity, What are your scores? 7, 8, and 8. All right. Pretty consistent. So for Emily Weems, on the category of creativity, we have 7, 8, and 8 for her scores. For the next category, durability. For Emily Weems' fort, judges, what are your scores? 6, 8, and 9. Quite the spread under durability. For Emily Weems' durability, we have 6, 8, and 9 points. All right. For the last category, for Emily Weems' fort, presentation, judges, what are your scores? 7, 9, and 10. All right, so for Emily Weems' presentation, the scores were 7, 9, and 10. So Emily, your score total, with an additional 10 points for being able to fit inside your fort, you have scored 82 points. That means you are 1 point below Brett.
Okay.
Which means, Brett, you are the high score at this point. We'll see what the judges have to say about Matthew's fort. All right, Matthew Schwartz, you're up next. Judges, for Matthew Schwartz's fort, for the first category of creativity, what are your scores? 8, 8, and 8. So for Matthew Schwartz, a solidly consistent across the board, 8 points from all 3 judges. All right, moving on to the second category of durability. For Matthew Schwartz's fort, judges, what are your scores? 7, 8, and 9. All right. For Matthew Schwartz, for the category of durability, he scored 7, 8, and 9 from our judges. This brings us to our final category for Matthew Schwartz's fort, which is presentation. Judges, for this final category to determine who wins tonight's challenge, what are your scores? 8, 9, and 10. So for Matthew Schwartz's presentation, he scored 8, 9, and 10 points from our judges. Matthew Schwartz, your final score, which did contain an additional 10 points for being able to fit inside your fort, is 85 points. All right, please unmute, challengers. Matthew Schwartz, this means that you have won the final challenge.
Oh my God. Oh my
Congratulations, Matthew. Congratulations to all 3 contestants. I thought they were all 3 very distinct, unique forts, and I would enjoy spending time in all of them. Congratulations, and thank you for your work tonight.
You guys are fucked up for this. Why do we not have a final 3?
We were really planning on the final 3 VFA 4s. We really were.
I am on this roller coaster with you. I am on the roller coaster with you. But now, this brings us to our elimination. So, for that, I would like to welcome our jury to the Zoom.
Not the jury, too! Ooh! Sorry, that was over dramatic. Sorry about that.
So, for those of you just joining us tonight, we have made it down to our top 3, which is Matthew Schwartz, Emily Weems, and Brett Rose. We have just completed their final challenge, which was a fort building competition. It was judged by 3 of our MFA directors, Mallory Matoxen, Stephanie LeBolt, and Emil Thomas. And their points determined that Matthew Schwartz won the challenge tonight by receiving the most points. The producers have decided that the winner of tonight's challenge will receive the lone vote to determine who is eliminated tonight. On that note, let's have a little chat here.
You are fucked up. I'm so sorry. Not to pull it off. I'm speaking to the producers, not you, Antonio. This is fucked up.
It's okay. Let it out. Let it out. You know, this is the stuff that would end up on the cutting room floor. That's fine. So in a moment, I'll be asking a more specific question. But right now, I would like to just go through our top 3 and just ask you just a quick question. How are you doing? How are you
Bad.
going into the elimination? And we're going to start with Brett Rose.
Bad. What else do you want me to say? There's a 1 in 2 chance of me going home. It's totally up to Matthew right now, and he has an impossible decision to make.
I'm feeling a lot of emotions right now. Matthew and Brett have been together since the beginning with Red Scare, and Matthew has mentioned that he thinks I am his biggest competition in the finale because I am the sole Dynamite left, and I would probably get a lot of their votes. So that makes me very nervous. Woo! Yeah, that's how I'm feeling. All right.
Thank you, Emily. All right, Matthew.
Well, I wasn't planning on a top 2. I didn't want a top 2. I wanted to be sitting here with my 2 friends, Brett and Emily. And so I currently feel like exploding, and I'm glad I took my meds today. Let me just say that. Wowie zowie. This is balls. I hope that everyone knows that this is balls, but I also, you know, in my head, I was like, the producers don't want a final tribal count or a final elimination where 40 people ask 3 people a question each. Like, that'll take a million years. But I don't want this responsibility. But would I have it any other way? Also, no.
That's fair. That's fair. Thank you, Matthew. All right, now I have a question for 2 of our contestants. So this question is for Emily and Brett. You will each get a chance to answer. But I would like to give you each an opportunity to make your case to Matthew as to why you think that you should stay in the game and move on to the finale on November 20th. First up, we will start with Emily.
Oh, Matthew Schwartz, my friend. We were like party buddies who stuck together freshman year, roommates sophomore year. I love you to bits. I have truly trusted you this whole time, even though I have tried to go behind your back before because your power scared me. But I also knew that like you were genuine in your like, I will help you. I will take you to the top 3. And you did that for me. I would love to be in the final with you, us chilling. But you know, I know it's a very, very difficult choice for you. But that's what I have to say.
Thank you, Emily Weems. All right, Brett Rose. What would you like to say to Matthew about why you think that you should stay in the game and make it to the finale next week?
I mean, we've been allies since day 1. We've had each other's backs through every single vote, kept each other informed about every single vote we could, let each other know when our names were on the chopping blocks, and I feel like we simply would not be here without each other. You know, we had a pact with Emily with top 3, but before that, before anything, on day 1, you and I had a pact for top 2. And I don't want to like play that card, but I feel like we've been loyal to each other the entire time. And, you know, no offense to Emily, but if I were in your situation tonight, I know what I would do.
You know, Survivor, that's the name of the game. It's cutthroat, you know? You have to play the game to make it this far, and I think we all know here in this Zoom that these 3 contestants remaining definitely played the game. Oh, Emily, Matthew, Brett, you're all amazing competitors. You made it this far. I'm not looking forward to this moment, but the time has come to set another contestant adrift. Matthew Schwartz, in a moment, I will ask you to private message me in the Zoom chat the name of the contestant you are choosing to eliminate tonight.
This is so fucked up. This is so fucked up.
The vote is in. Emily Weems. As I say every time, it brings me no joy to tell you what you already know, which is that you have been eliminated from Survivor TTS. You were an amazing competitor, just like all of our competitors were, but the moments that will stick out to me were your epic wall sit and your reaction to the spelling bee. Although it was very full of pain and anguish, I took some joy out of it because you still had a great attitude throughout it all. Emily, would you like to say anything to your fellow competitors?
I would. You know, I'm very happy. I knew going into this when I found out, you know, Matthew had won. I knew that I was going to be voted out. I knew that Matthew thought I was a threat. Obviously, I had the Dynamites on my side, and I've never gotten a vote before. This has been my only vote, which honestly, props to me. And I was ready for tribal council tonight. I was preparing because I was ready for the questions, because I assume people thought, you know, I did bad at challenges. So I think a lot of people thought, you know, I just, you know, hid under, you know, Matthew and Brett and kind of flew by them. But I mean, they got a lot of votes because I turned my back on some of my fellow Dynamites. And I know that I helped them with that, especially in the first week. Did that hurt me now? Maybe. But I mean, my goal was always to be with Matthew and Brett in the final 3. And I wish that we were all together in the finale, but you know, it's a final 2, surprise. But I'm content. You know, Matthew and Brett, I'm rooting for both of you. I have no idea who I'm going to vote for in the finale because y'all have literally been my teammates. So I'm gonna have a lot of thinking to do. And I love you both. And, you know, this is just where we are. And I've had a blast. This has been the most fun that I've had all quarter. Was I knew that on Monday and Wednesdays, I had Survivor.
Emily, I'm so happy to hear that. You definitely enriched the show. So I'm very, very glad that you were on it, and I'm glad that you stuck around. All right, now, Matthew, I know that you did have something that you wanted to say. If you would like to say that before Emily leaves our Zoom room, please go ahead.
I mean, it's so hard. There's no one I've known longer and deeper than Emily. No one I really felt like I could talk to in complete honesty about things in and out of the show in this group of people like Emily. And it's so crazy to think that throughout this show and throughout this experience, I didn't realize I'd grow to love her that much more and grow to appreciate her that much more. And it really, I mean, damn, if there's a convincing argument, you fucking put that up. You put that up, and I didn't know what to do. And, you know, I made these promises to Brett, and Brett and I had been through this whole thing from the beginning. And it's a hard situation. And just want to say, this vote was not about winning the jury or winning the game. It was about a promise I'd made to Brett from the beginning. And I wanted you to be sitting at that final tribal council with me and Brett, because all I wanted to do was play the game and have fun doing it. And it wasn't about, you know, winning in the end. So I feel like shit about that. But I also cannot believe how this game has made a friendship that's lasted for 4 years turn into something that I never even imagined and something that I'm that much more grateful for. So this was literally crazy, and I feel like shit about it. And I don't know how to say that enough. And please roast my ass, every single one of you in the jury, to roast my ass next week. Kill me, please. I've been asking for it for weeks. Someone needs to make me pay because this is fucked up. And I know I have a mouth like a sailor, but a heart of gold. I love you, Emily, and I'm sorry that this had to happen this way. This wasn't what I wanted. I mean, Brett and I were literally talking on Slack today about how we're like, it must be Final Tribal Council. There's no way they're gonna throw a challenge at us, blah, blah, blah. Like, we were like convinced. And I was wearing red for Final Tribal Council instead of purple, but now I'm wearing black to mourn you.
Aww.
So I love you, and this game has been so much fun, and I've looked forward to playing this game with you every week, and I'm sorry that it was like this.
All right. That brings us to the end of our elimination tonight. Emily Weems, you are free to leave the Zoom.
Bye, Emily. I love you.
That brings us to the end of our final immunity challenge and elimination before going to our top 2 finale on Friday, November 20th, which will be live. Folks, if you're watching this, you can sign up to be part of our audience by going to our Instagram page. Until next time.